Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I am so glad you are all here today, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda. This is my Oliver, and if you're returning, we love you so much. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I'm going to take this 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby and I'm going to create two lines using my square ruler, one up on the top and one on the bottom. I'm sorry, I don't remember the measurements that I made, but once I had that, I'm going to tape them off with my painter's tape here. I'm going to do this on the top and the bottom because I want to paint the middle section with my Waverly chalk paint and the color Snow White. You see me playing around with my tape there. And then after I had the middle part all dry, I'm going to take some more painter's tape and I'm going to add it to the white section so that I can go over the top and the bottom with my Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm just going to brush it on. I'm going to brush over the edges of my round as well. And then I'm going to wipe off all the excess with a paper towel. Now, when you use these wood pieces, they're thinner, so it can kind of make it a little warped. And usually if you paint the back side, then it will straighten out. Well, I wasn't sure if it would straighten out with the antique wax or if I needed it to be painted and I wanted the back to be antique wax. So I decided to get another 14-inch wood round out of my stash. And before I connect them, I'm going to make the hanger holes on the top one, and then I put the two together so I could mark where the hanger holes need to be on the bottom one. And then I'm going to add my wood glue and hot glue to the bottom wood round. The wood glue again is for permanent hold and the hot glue is for immediate hold. And then I'm going to connect the two, making sure that the hanger holes are equally aligned and match. And then I'm just going to connect those together and then that way it's more sturdy. And then I went over the back with my antique wax again, just brushing it all on and wiping it off with my paper towel and then making sure the edges were all done with that wax as well. And then after that was done, I took my Cricut and I created this stencil. It says, "Welcome to Gamgee and Gaffer's house." Now, Gamgee and Gaffer is my sister and brother-in-law's grandparent name. It comes from Lord of the Rings, so I know it's kind of a weird name. People are probably like, "What?" But that's where they get it. So I decided since they just became grandparents a couple of years ago that they needed a door sign. So I'm going over all of this with my black chalk paste, and then I'm going to add this little saying to that as well. And I you could this is very customizable. You could do any kind of door hanger. If you don't have a Cricut, you could use stickers, and you could lay the stickers all out, paint over it, and then remove the stickers, kind of like I'm doing here, but it's called reverse stenciling. That would be a great way to do it. Or you could just use stickers, or if you have beautiful handwriting, you could handwrite something as well. Just because you don't have a Cricut doesn't mean you cannot recreate this. You just have to make it your own and figure out a way to do it. You could even use stencils if you have an alphabet stencil. You could use stamps if you have alphabet stamps. There's just all kinds of ways you could do this. So once that was all done, I'm going to take my braided jute ribbon that I absolutely love. I get this from Amazon. It's in my Amazon store, and there's a link in my description box if you're interested. But I'm going to glue this to the top and the bottom where the paint and the antique wax meet. Then I took this ribbon. I have no idea where I got it. I've had it forever. I cut down a piece. I'm going to glue the ends together. I'm going to take another piece. I'm going to do the awareness ribbon and scrunch it up in the middle. And then I'm going to put the other one behind it. I'm going to scrunch that up and put it right behind it so we have like a double loop bow. And then I'm going to use some twine to tie them together. And I do tie it in a knot. And then I will trim off the extra part of that twine so that you don't see it. Then I'm going to take the tails, I'm going to fold them in half to do a dovetail. I like doing this because it just gives it a nice finished look. And so once you fold it in half, you cut at an angle, and then my bow is all done. So I decided to go ahead and add my hanger before I had added my bow. I thought it might be easier because I didn't know how much I would cover up the holes. So I just put some tape around my braided jute cord that I also have from Amazon that I love. And I'm just going to thread it through, tie knots on the ends, and then we have our hanger. You just want to make sure you make that hanger the size that you want. And then after that, I took some lamb's ear from Hobby Lobby, I'm going to glue them onto both sides of my wood round, just like you see me doing there. I'm just kind of doubling it up, kind of layering it up a little bit. Then I'm going to hot glue my bow on. I also used a staple or a couple staples to make sure that it stays. And there it is. I love this. They're going to love it, I'm sure. But this is a really nice and easy way to make a gift for Mother's Day.
I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I hope you are getting ready for Mother's Day. I thought it would be fun to get a few little ideas in case you're creating something for either your mother or for your grandparents or your kids' grandparents, whatever it might be, a friend, whatever. I hope you are enjoying this and getting some inspiration. And if you are new here, if this is your first time visiting my channel, I am so glad you found it and stopped by. And I would really love it if you'd become part of our YouTube family by hitting that red subscribe button. That would be awesome. Let me know in the comment box that you're new here. I would love to get to know you. And if you're not new and you're returning, you guys mean the world to me. And I appreciate you guys all so very much. I wouldn't have this channel if it wasn't for you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Oliver says thank you too, right? He says hi to all of his friends out there because you guys all, I think, have kind of adopted him. So anyways, we're going to get on with the video now. So let's get on with the video, as Kathy Jo would say.
Okay, DIY number 2. So I have 4 of these picture frames from Dollar Tree. They're 4x6s. I've had these in my stash forever. You could use any kind of frame that you want. I'm going to remove the glass from all of them. Well, from one of them. I'm going to take this beautiful removable wallpaper from Dollar Tree. This is the first I've seen this. I saw Kathy Jo use it the other day. I'm like, what? I've never seen that one. And I found it and I had to buy it. I'm so glad I did because I did not plan on doing this. This just kind of came to me. So I cut out 3 pieces, used that glass to trim it. Then I had this card in my dresser, and it was a card I got for my mother years ago for her birthday, never used it. So I'm going to trim out the front part of it. I just thought it was perfect for Mother's Day. And I'm going to put it inside one of those frames. And then I'm just going to put the back onto it. And then I'm going to add the wallpaper pieces that I cut out, and I'm going to add them to the rest of those. I'm going to remove those little kickstands that are on the back of the frames. Then I'm going to use my fix-all glue from Dollar Tree. I'm going to put some on my frame. I went to go grab for my hot glue gun and it was gone. So I had to go find it. My husband was using it. But then I added some hot glue to the areas that I did not have the fix-all glue, and I'm going to glue my frames together just like you see me doing right there. And I use, again, the fix-all glue as a permanent hold. And it works for, these are plastic. They're not, these frames, they look pretty and metally or wood, but they're not. They're plastic. So that's why I'm using the E6, or no, not E6000. Fix-all glue. I keep wanting to call it E6000. But anyways, I'm just making a cube here with these frames. And then once I have it all together, I'm going to take some of the, I can never remember if these are jumbo or giant. I think jumbo, but then I always get it wrong. But anyways, they're not the largest Walmart has. They're the second largest. And I'm just going to cut all the ends off. Cutting them down to fit along the bottom side of my picture frames here. And I cut down 5 of these, and 5 fit across with little gaps in between. I could have cut one, I guess, lengthwise, but I didn't want to do that. So anyways, I am going to paint it all white, and then I'm just going to take my hot glue here, and I'm just going to glue these pieces on the bottom, and then that way it will hold my floral foam and flowers in place, and it also just gives it another extra protection to keep those frames together. Then I'm going to take some floral foam. I should have took a thicker piece or cut it larger, because these flowers, when I put that in, it was kind of a little in there too much. It was a little too short. So I started trying to cut them longer, and I got these roses a while ago from Dollar Tree. They were in my stash, and I just thought they would match perfectly with the purple that was on that wallpaper and on the card. So I just start filling those up, and then I found some white flowers that I have from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add those as well. And then I added some little roses, purple roses that I had from Hobby Lobby and some that I got from Michael's recently, and just kind of filled it up with the different hues of purple. And that's all there is. It's super easy. You could give this to a grandparent. You could give it to a parent. You could give it to a friend. You could add pictures instead of the wallpaper if you wanted. There's so many things you could do with this. I just love this idea. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have this adorable piece that Lisa made that's supposed to represent her and her husband. I just love it, Lisa. And then we have Peggy. She made these pretty items. The little bunnies on the wood egg is from a book that she wrote. And I had her website there. So make sure you check it out because she uh, has books that she writes. But these are beautiful, Denise, too. I love all your bunny stuff. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram and Facebook Messenger. Thank you, Lisa, for sending me some coffee. She bought me 10 coffees, and I appreciate it so much. And Jackie, you are such a blessing. She sent me a card with some little extra money inside, and I just thank you so much. Okay, everyone, here's DIY and number 3. I had a hard time getting through that one. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm going to take some of these little wood flowers. This, I think, came from Michael's. I've had it in my stash for a little while, but these were so cute. I was going to trace around a picture. These are some of my grandkids, my grandsons, and I decided that was going to make it too small. So instead, I just kind of cut around the faces of my grandsons there, and I'm just making sure that they're going to match inside those little flowers. Once I had those cut out, I painted them. One is Key West, I think. The other one is Folk Arts Vintage Tea Rose, and then I think Apple Barrel's bright yellow or light yellow, and then Waverly's lavender. After that, I used my glue stick here, and I'm just going to glue my pictures in place, and I'm just going to make sure that they are on there correctly so you can see the little faces. I would have made one of these flowers for all of my grandkids had I had little pictures. But these were the ones I didn't want to have to wait to get them printed and all that stuff. So I just did the 4, and these are actually my 4 biological grandchildren. I only have biological grandsons, you guys. I don't know what it was, but I just had a lot of grandsons, no granddaughters. But anyways, I love the ones that I have that are my bonus grandkids. But anyways, I took some of these skewers and I'm marking them down. I'm making some shorter. I'm started with one larger and then just kind of working my way down. And I'm just cutting them with some scissors. I think I got these skewers from Dollar Tree. And then I painted them all with my Waverly chalk paint and the color Fern. And once that was all dry, I was going to start gluing them. I started doing this. I hot glued it stem to the back of the picture, and I decided, you know what? I want to do this differently. So before that glue dried, I'd hurried up and pulled it off. And I took some of these bigger flowers from Hobby Lobby and I painted them with the same colors. And then, like Kathy Jo would say, that wasn't really her voice. But anyways, I'm going to use my Tite Bond glue and I'm going to glue these petals together. Now, I was going to do it crooked like that. And then I decided, no, I think I like it better straight. But I can't decide which one I liked better. Anyways, it would have been better if I would have thought ahead and made one of the colors a little darker. But I didn't do it. So anyways, I got them all glued together. Then I'm going to glue the stems to the back of the pictures. And then I'm just using my hot glue, and I'm just using a bead of hot glue along each side of the skewer just to kind of give it some extra strength to hold that stem in place. Then I took a wood oval piece from Hobby Lobby. I painted it white, and I'm using my paint marker here, and I'm just writing Mimi's Garden. And this would be so much fun if you have a ton of grandkids. I would love this with all my grandkids. I think it'd be so much fun. Or it'd be great for a grandparent gift. You could even do a smaller version and use like the terracotta pots. If someone only has a couple of kids and you want to give this to a parent or someone with just a couple of kids or whatever, or if someone has a lot of kids, you could make it bigger. It's just, there's so much variety you could do. But I had like a coffee stir stick that I had painted with that fern color as well. And then this bucket I had previously for another DIY that I had taken apart. And I decided to go ahead and use it because I love this little bucket. It's so cute. And I got this one a couple of years ago, but you could use anything really. And you just put floral foam in it. And then I'm just sticking my little skewers in there. And then I'm just going to cover them all up with some floral moss. And yeah, and then after I cleaned up, because that stuff is such a mess. You guys, I don't know if you can hear the airplane flying by, but it is super, super loud. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm going to take my jute string. I'm going to make a 4-loop finger bow. I'm wrapping my fingers 4 times. I'm going to cut off an extra long tail here. And I'm going to take that tail. I'm going to come up around those loops and go through my fingers underneath it and come up around it and then go through that loop that I just made and pull tightly. And I always like to put my little thumb there to hold it in place while I pull. And that's all there is for those finger bows. Took me a while to figure it out, but man, once I did, I just do it all the time now. And then I just glue that onto the front and there it is. So much fun. I'm going to have to get pictures of all my grandkids and great grandkids, believe it or not. And I'm going to have to make one with everybody because I just love this idea. Okay, final DIY number 4. And you guys, I tried to make this versatile because I know a lot of you probably already have grandkids. You don't have mothers that you know anymore. They've probably passed on. And I'm trying to make this so that anybody can make these for grandparents or friends or daughter-in-laws, son-in-laws, whatever, so that it doesn't have to be just for your own mom. But it could be if you have one. So I took that wood piece from Dollar Tree. I marked a hole made a hole on the other end. I took 2 of these packages from Hobby Lobby. They're $1.99 a package. They come with some birds and some branches. Those hearts, also wood hearts, came from Hobby Lobby. And then the blessed wood letters came from Amazon. I painted the wood strip with my ivory and the branches with my antique wax. And then I ended up using my metallic by Decor, I think, worn penny, which I love that color. I decided to use that on the blessed and the hearts because I was going to do the antique wax, but I felt like it would just be too much the same color and I wanted to add something a little different. So I'm just going to use my Tite Bond glue to glue everything in place. On my letters, I did use my finger to just kind of smooth it over. Otherwise, it was seeping everywhere. And then I'm just going to glue all my hearts in place. Now, all of these hearts represent my grandkids and all 15, not just grandkids, great grandkids, 15 of them. So I'm just going to put their initials or the initial to their first name on each one of them here. You don't have to do this if you want to recreate this. You could do this for someone's kids. You could do it for grandkids. You could make it smaller. You could make it bigger, whatever fits what you're trying to do. But I just feel blessed to have all of them in my life. And so that's why I spelt out the word blessed. And now every time I look at that, it will just be another moment in my life to feel blessed, but also to remember to pray for all of them because you know what? My heart's desire is that they all follow Jesus, and they all are not at the moment, but I know there will be a day I believe and have faith that they will at some time in their life. So I am just going to take my twine here and make a hanger again, just bringing it through those holes and tying knots on the back. And that's all there is. Super simple, but it's so fun. It's so easy. It's so pretty. I just love this one. I can't wait to hang this up. I just got to find a place. I think I know where I'm going to put it. But anyways, there it is. I love it. You have to let me know what you think about this one today and which one was your favorite today. And are you going to try to make any of these for someone you know? Let me know in the comment box. I'd love to hear from you. And I will be back again on Thursday with another video, and stay tuned for that. I'm excited about it. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.